Hello everybody, welcome to another video on the Psydonix channel. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be recording a little video about my thoughts on this season and how it all goes, but I'm also going to be playing a match of Fortnite at the exact same time. So my thoughts may not be quite as well thought out as they usually are, but the gimmick is that if I die, the video ends. So, pretty simple concept. We're going to see how this goes. First of all, I want to state that this is probably my least played version of Fortnite in a long time. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Maybe it's life, maybe it's just in general I'm not feeling the vibe. But I just haven't played this one as much as I have the past couple. However, I will say, still played enough to give a very good, honest opinion on it. I will say, probably one of my favorite things about this season is the astounding amount of mobility. By far, this has like some of the best mobility that we've seen in a while. You have the hoverboard, you have the Storm Beast, you have, what's the other thing? The base boost. You got the Robin's grapple glider. I know there's only one of those per game, but you know, that's a pretty big thing. Alright, we got some fighting above us. We're going to switch off of commentary and switch to fight mode. Okay. They're good to go. We got a chest over here. But yeah, no, so we have some fantastic mobility. That's definitely one of the stronger things about this season. I would say overall the theming is pretty on point. Now, I would have liked a couple more POIs, superhero themed, or maybe reworking some current POIs to be more superhero themed. We got Utopia City and we got the little academy, but it's nothing quite as large as like last season with like Lone Wolf, Shiny Shafts, Outlaws, Oasis, Crime City. I mean, like, it was a huge 4 POI change-up. And this season, we really only got 3 POIs with very limited biome change-ups. I would have preferred if we would have had like a larger Utopia biome. Even though the Academy has kind of a biome, it's sort of what was already there with Pump Power, with the orange trees. It is what it is. But overall, the gameplay is pretty nice. It's very interesting to play a season of Fortnite without a scoped AR. I feel like we haven't had something like that in a long time. I'm honestly, I can't even recall the last season where we didn't have a scoped assault rifle, obviously excluding the OG seasons. But yeah, so I'm just doing this video as kind of like I'm going to try and do some like daily videos here. And I thought that this would be a fun concept to try out. Also, it gives me a little bit more ability to like explain my gameplay and, you know, just have some fun playing the game and explaining things as I go. Another thing to go over, the assault rifles. The Spire rifle is very good. The Fury is very good. I enjoy both of them pretty well. The Fury obviously is a much closer range assault rifle than the Spire. I kind of tend to use it as an SMG. That's been the strong suit of a lot of the non-scope rifles this chapter. Ooh. This may be the end. No, it's not. They could have very easily been the end of the video there. That's part of the fun of this, though. Okay, so we clutched up. I've got some minis. I'm going to pop those. I got a hoverboard out of there. Got a car in front of us. He probably hears me. He's not moving now. Makes me a little bit nervous. I'm going to push out, go up the mountain here. Thing worth mentioning about this season. Where were we? I don't know, I've kind of lost track. Spire rifle, the other rifle. Oh, yes. So yeah, one of the fun things is that now that there's no scoped assault rifle, we actually get to try out some of the assault rifles that, you know, got put in the waste bin due to the Twister. Fury assault rifle is very solid. I'd say it's maybe Scar level. I honestly would rather pick up a Scar. And we got to see a somewhat of a comparison when they brought the hammer rifle into the game for a day. Which, by the way, can I go over that summer event? That was a fantastic idea. I played at least once every single day to try out how the new items would shake up the loot pool, right? The hammer assault rifle, definitely one of the more fun ones. I feel like that's an assault rifle that really fits this season. Shockwave hammers were crazy. I literally carried 3 of them, a shotgun, and a Fury rifle, and that was my meta for that day. So, I mean, like, there are some very good things that came out of that. I'd say the grapple glove was kind of like the least important, just because it just came back. I honestly didn't see much of a reason to play that day, but other than that, some pretty huge unvaults. One of the weirder things that I thought about the unvaults, though, was when the pump came back, I honestly didn't use it that much, because the Sentinel is just such a good side grade of the pump, and when you actually have the 2 in a loot pool together, I would actually say pick up the Sentinel, just because of the quicker fire rate. It allows for quicker switching back and forth for those high damage shots, and it also has a slightly longer range. There's a lot to it that you really don't realize until they're in a loot pool together. You know, I mean, you could play with it in, you know, box fights and all of that, but there's no real good, like, zero build practicing lobbies. It's all build mode. And objectively, the pump is much better in build mode just because of the higher tag damage. Looks like we're actually going to get a pretty decent game out of this. What else is there to go over this season? My thoughts on the mythic weapons? I'm going to be honest, I think they're a little bit underwhelming. I thought they would have been a little bit more interesting than they actually are. The Crypto, the Superdog treat, it looked cool, but it's actually kind of lame. It's just a worse version of a Junk Rift, because a Junk Rift will go through floors no matter where you throw it, right? It will just go all the way down to the lowest point. While something like the Crypto Super Treat, it only goes to where you throw it. Another thing worth mentioning, the revolvers, they were cool at the start, but now with all of the crazy mobility and everything, I feel like it puts you at a huge disadvantage to kind of freeze yourself mid-air like that. I understand that gives you first shot accuracy, but the Spire Rifle is extremely accurate as well. So there's honestly no reason to really carry the kill switch revolvers anymore. And their spread without dodging is actually quite terrible. So I've stopped carrying them. I just kind of carry the loadout you're seeing right now. Maybe something else for the heals if I find another very good mobility, like maybe the Mythic Gauntlets and something like that. Or one of the exotics, which, by the way, mid-exotics, I'm going to be honest. Like, the fact that they're random, okay, like, you know, it's a nice gimmick to base a whole set of exotics around, but it's just not, it's not convenient, you know, I mean, like, I get it, but at the same time, it makes the gunplay with them a little bit awkward, because, like, oh, yes, sometimes it'll pull them closer to you, but then you might just get the 50% of the time where it doesn't, you know, or, like, sometimes it might shockwave them. Or sometimes it might explode. It's very interesting as a concept for exotics. I'm not saying I hate having more exotics. I mean, I feel like originally they were in a dry spot for exotics during Chapter 4. They're really... Well, actually, no, not Chapter 4. Chapter 3, I mean. They really didn't add much. But then Chapter 4 came around, added the heisted ones, which was pretty sweet. Alright, we gotta focus on this fight here. He's got the explosive DMR, I believe. Speaking of, I'm gonna get higher on this hill. Oh, he had the exact same idea I did. Alright, we're gonna back up a little bit. Okay. Get him decent. cube. Don't know where that guy went. But as you can see, you know, there's really good mobility with this Rift Cube. It's probably one of the best mobility items in this season. I'm honestly very surprised I did not take fall damage there. Good thing, right? Like, I mean, we get to keep the video going on for a little bit longer. But that was kind of scary there. Alright, let's take a Rift here. We've only got 24 more durability on our Rift Cube. Which, by the way, Rift Cube is a very good way to execute somewhat of a durability system. Because there's an actual like counter at the bottom, and it makes a lot more sense than what they've been doing. Which is... oh, here's a random bar. There you go. You know? And it might tell you a percentage, but it doesn't say that on the actual weapon bar. Which I have a huge problem with. So, honestly, mobility this season is very well implemented. I'm hoping we can find another Rift Cube out of, not Rift Cube, you know what I mean, Cube, Surf thing. Wow, I missed a ton of shots on that guy. But yeah, I was hoping we could find one out of this chest, and we indeed can. I'm gonna pop this big pot here. We get some slap going. Very nice. Let's see if this guy had anything worth our while. I would like an upgraded shotgun. Nope. I feel like an interesting thing that they did this season as well was include the outlaw shotgun. And I'm going to be honest, I don't hate that option. The outlaw shotgun is actually surprisingly decent this season. I mean, it's very close quarters. If you miss one of your shots, you know, you do hurt yourself a little bit. But the hope is that you don't do that. And if you don't do that, that shotgun is very good. It's very similar to the old double barrel. With a little bit extra range, I believe. I believe the range is slightly better. So, it's overall a very, very solid weapon to have in the shotgun meta. Now, is it as good as last season's shotgun meta with, like, you know, the ACP or whatever it is and the BARM shotgun? No, not in any way. It was honestly a much more solid shotgun meta, but this shotgun meta is very close to being good. My only issue with it is the twin fire, and that's just simply because I really hate that shotgun. It doesn't do very good damage, it doesn't have a big enough range, reloading it is a pain in the butt. It just has a lot of negatives that I just don't feel like having on a shotgun. You know, your main weapon in this game is a shotgun. So when you have one, it should be a good one, right? At least that's my mentality on it. I mean, some people may disagree with that. But I have not found it very useful. And I play zero build, right? Everybody always says, well, this is the zero build shotgun, and I tend to disagree about that. The Sentinel fires so fast by itself. I mean, it's basically like a tac pump hybrid. You really don't need to have a drum shotgun like that, especially when it's a drum shotgun that has like, what, 6 ammo, while the regular drum shotgun has like something like 12. You know, I mean, that's crazy to me. Also, wait a second, was that... Here, wait, I want to test something out real quick. Because I swear I just saw doing parkour regenerate... Oh my god, doing parkour regenerates the base boost? I didn't even know that. Hey, fun fact. Anyways, we're going to take some pot shots at this guy here. But yeah, I don't know if this will be something that I'll continue to do over the rest of the daily videos, or, you know, what I'll end up doing for every day. But I thought that this would be an interesting concept, which would kind of, you know, match with the niche that I'm in. Other thing to comment on, apparently the Superman update is out today. You got a little bit of a POI here, but they're following the same mistakes that they always make by putting it at the edge of the map, so nobody is going to end up going there. Okay, and then this guy is going to try and do something, but he's pretty bad at the game, and so am I. Got him. And we got another guy near us. I'm going to surf cube away. I'm going to reload my weapons. Okay, we're going to get a little bit high ground here. And we're going to peek back around. Looks like we got a guy gliding. See what I'm saying? He's in, like, such a vulnerable state when he's doing that. I need to get some kind of healing here. How close am I to S rank? Relatively. I'm gonna pop this one kit, and there's a chest there. Hopefully it's got some minis. Maybe I can look into achieving S rank, getting some shields from that. Looks like we got a big pot. That's very good. I'm gonna pick up that other Sentinel pump to get more ammo. And we're coming to like the end of the video, folks. We don't have much longer in this match. Oh, the DMR. I do want to talk about that. The DMR this season sucks as like a replacement for scoped weapons. They should have stuck with what they had last season. The Star Wars DMR was very good. This is that guy from earlier. Wow, we got a far way to go. I'm just gonna surf cube into it. We got a bunch of people behind us as well. Whew. So I'm just gonna get in zone and then shoot at them while they're rotating. Man, my accuracy today. Like, if I had a scoped assault rifle here, I would have killed them. I mean, but that's just how this is. That's why they revolved the meta about this. Instead of going with what they had. Alright, we hit F's rank, so we're going to regen some shields here. We got the much better Spire rifle here. I'm gonna surf away a little bit. I need some more shield before I can actually fight somebody. These aren't lootable. God damn it. Okay. Gonna break this floor here, get a little bit more back. Are we still regenning? We are. Very nice. Okay. There's a launch pad over here. That's what I'm gonna do to rotate in. Got a little bit of a ways to go. 4 people left. But yeah, no, the DMR, the real issue with it is, like, it's just, the projectile's relatively slow, and it doesn't do enough damage. Well, I mean, I guess it technically does enough damage. I don't know. It feels weird to use. That's all I'll say, you know, and there's no snipers, so your long range this season is pretty bad unless you have the good Spire rifle, which I fortunately found here, which is good. It looks like we got the invisible person right over there, hit 36. in. Did they buff the Mist Gauntlets? Because I am taking, like, a shit ton of damage from those. Wow. Me and that other guy, that's it. I don't know if I can win this. I got 50 HP, no regen. No meds either. Get over here. Ah! They got me and I couldn't hit them. That's fine. Well, that's the end of the video, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and stick around for another video tomorrow. We'll see what I do. Other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stick around.